Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel. It is Monday morning and I would have loved to be here with a different face, with a smile on my face, wishing all of you a fantastic start of a new week. But it is impossible, because when you are looking at the result of yesterday, 1 for Inter, 0 for Juventus, well, it hurts. It hurts a lot and I know how you are feeling this morning. It was tough. This morning to wake up, going out of your bed, being obliged to go back to school, to work, being obliged to focus for the entire day on new things to learn, on the job that you have to do, while in your mind you have only one thing. Why didn't we win yesterday? Why didn't we play better? Why did Max Allegri did those choices? Why did the players do these mistakes? Why was there that own goal of Gatti? Why did Vlahovic miss that control? Why did Max Allegri not play together Chiesa, Vlahovic and Yildiz? Why? I took my time this morning, but I'm ready to speak about the loss of yesterday. A loss that is painful, that is hurting, that is difficult to digest, difficult to swallow. Because for us Juventini, when you lose a game against whatever team on the world, it hurts. It's difficult to digest because the loss of yesterday, when we are looking at the opponents, well, it hurts even more because it's the Nerazzurri, because it's Inter, and we don't want to lose against Inter, whatever is at stake. It hurts even more when you're looking at the ranking and you know that Inter is there at +4 with 1 game in hand. Of course, they didn't play yet against Atalanta, and everything can happen. But when you're looking at the strength of Inter yesterday, it's difficult for us today, this morning, to even imagine that the Nerazzurri could lose against Atalanta, the team of Gasperini. And you know what hurts? It's knowing that everything that we built in 21 games before the draw of Empoli, well, it's further and further away. That desire, that dream, that we were even able to convince the most negative Juventino that we would able to compete until the end of the season. I'm not telling you winning, but at least compete for longer than match day 23, where it looks so far at the moment. It hurts. And you know what hurts the most? And that's what we will speak about in today's video. The way how we played yesterday. Or maybe I have to describe it about the way that for big parts of the game, we didn't play. If you find the courage after 2 minutes 30, put a maximum of likes. I know I'm asking a difficult task to put a thumb up after the loss of yesterday, but if you do, it's helping me a lot as a content creator. Don't forget to subscribe because we start and I want to tell you something that we already knew. Let's not hide, let's not fake. I know it's hard to admit on a Juve channel, but I prefer to be honest. We knew it since before match day 1 against Udinese that Inter was strong. We even knew that they were the strongest one. And week by week, aside from some referee decision, they showed us on the field that they have the best defense, super solid, that they have the best attack with the most goals scored, that they have a fantastic, strong, physical midfield, physical but also able to create, that they have a good goalkeeper, that they are mentally strong and aware of their strength. Yesterday, they showed it. We didn't need that game of yesterday to understand it, but yesterday, they showed it once again. We'll come back on Inter and the differences with Juve in a second, but let me first say something before analyzing what Juventus did wrong yesterday, Juventus as a whole. I want to go back with a tip, with something that we must not do. We must not, and it is forbidden. That's the message that I would love to send to the players, to the coach, to the staff, to the management. Forbidden to think that Serie A is over on the 4th of February 2024 after the triple whistle of Maresca, the referee of yesterday. Forbidden, totally forbidden. Because if yesterday we saw that there is still a big gap with Inter, don't forget that during 21 games, and I would even take the Empoli game where some things were good, that we did a beautiful evolution. We can't throw away everything that we built. And we spoke about it yesterday after the live and so much. You know the good things that we did this season. Don't throw it away because there is still a lot at stake. And for the most negative ones, probably not competing for the scudetto anymore. But there is something at stake that is important. Going close to Inter, sticking there. Because that would be a progression versus last year. But also Supercoppa is at stake. You know it, the two finalists of Coppa Italia and the two first one in the ranking of Serie A, they go and play a tournament that is bringing you money, that is bringing you attractivity, that is bringing you a possibility to fight for an extra cup that we were not able to play this year. Because Milan is there. They are back at -4 from Juve. So don't give up, because if you give up now, it's already over. And it will be a really difficult season. And I'm happy, maybe some of you don't know, that today there is no free day. There is no day off for Juventini. Maybe it will come later, but not today. Today, all of them back at La Continassa, training, all together, sticking together. Because I know that if you're alone, isolated, you will stay there in that negative spiral with negative thoughts, depression, forbidden. Now we think about the game of Udinese immediately. Understanding what we didn't do well yesterday against Inter, but we start thinking immediately about the next game, where we need to go with the 3 points. Udinese, then the next game, then the next game, then the next game, then the next game. Will it be enough to win the scudetto? I don't know. Probably, if you're looking at things today, probably not. But then you did the job that you had to do. Giving up would be a total disaster, so don't give up, Juventini. What about the game of yesterday? There were 2 halves. The first one and the second half. What was the biggest strange thing that happened yesterday? In the first half, totally dominated by Inter. Possession at 15th minute, 80% for Inter. They started to show that they were convinced that they would have won that game. Where we started in the back. We had no intention at that moment to reply to Inter, except if something would have happened. And this was 25 minutes long. We actually, to be honest, never really risked Inter in that first half. And that's the paradox. From the moment that we didn't play, that we were there organized and structured, we didn't really risk Inter. But the difference in level was huge. And even if they were not putting us in difficulty offensively, we saw that they were stronger. And we knew that that goal would have come. And it arrives on a mistake from Juve. Double, triple mistake. How is it possible to let Barella cross? How is it possible that Pavard is able to do that acrobatic assist there? How is it possible that Thuram is there in front of goal, not man-marked really well by Gatti? Horror. And it's always coming from the same side. Always from the same side. But you know what is really crazy? In that second half, not that Juventus played much better, in that second half, we try a bit more and we risk much more. That 1-0, it's even tied for the Nerazzurri, because that game could have ended 2-0, 3-0 for Inter easily. Luckily, Szczesny was there. Now, what about Juventus? That goal that we concede is in our best moment of the first half, where Juventus decided to take the ball and to go a bit more up. And that's where Inter was extremely smart, because even if they were 25 minutes super high on the field, they go back, they invite Juve to go in their half, and that's where they punish us. It happened already in the first game, Juve-Inter 1-1. It happened yesterday, but much better Inter than in the first game in our home. How was Juventus yesterday? Low, too low. Slow, too slow. Juventus was not accurate. They were shy. They were not believing that they could do. They entered the field respecting Inter too much. They entered the field saying, you are stronger, and the only way that we will try to beat you is with something that could potentially happen. You know, a misunderstanding, a corner kick, a free kick, a set piece, a counter-attack. And that's not okay. That's, I think, the biggest mistake of Max Allegri yesterday, is that the day before in press conference is really saying we are in good physical condition. We know that we have to run. We know that we will run, and we will run more than Inter. Well, yesterday we didn't. We didn't see that aggressive behavior of Juve. And I'm not saying that we had to play with a really strange offensive formation, trying to go and immediately win over Inter, because they are so lethal in counter. Like, they need 4 passes. 4 passes is what they need in one touch, to change side from one side to the other. Long passes, short passes, without even watching, to be lethal and be in front of us. So going with suicide mission would have been crazy. But I didn't see any aggressivity. I didn't see any pressing. Yesterday we made a lot of mistakes. Another mistake of Max Allegri was yesterday not understanding that Adrien Rabiot was physically not ready. I'm not saying about the first half, but in the second half. 57 minutes with more than 30 minutes to play, he's not able anymore to find the energy to run behind that ball. I want to say thank you for Rabiot for, trying to give everything he had, but it was not enough. And that's where the coach needs to understand we need to change. We need to change. Or going with 2-man midfield earlier, or putting Alcaraz, putting new energy, and you don't know, whatever, but changing. Rabiot played 90 minutes, more than 90 minutes, 95 minutes, too much. On the 1-0 for Inter, in second half, for large parts of it, we were defending the fact of not conceding an extra goal. These are the things that I'm blaming Max Allegri. What I'm blaming the player yesterday is we played with fear. Some people will not agree, Beppe, why are you speaking about fear? Because this was a reality. We were fearing to concede goals from Inter, even when they were winning 1-0. We were losing every contrast. We were not precise. Every time that we had the opportunity to go with the ball, you didn't feel that Juve would have been dangerous. They were not. Missing passes, missing counterattack. If your game plan is to go with counterattack, then you have to be lethal. And if you are not able to go, then it's difficult. Even with Federico Chiesa going in second half in a counterattack, 3 against 2, missing that pass on the left side. A lot of mistakes of Juve yesterday. And I tell you, the big difference that I saw yesterday on the field was Inter, they needed 4, max 5 passes in one touches to go from the right side to the left side or the left side to the right side, while Juve, they needed minimum 3 touches. Control, taking the ball, checking, and passing. And even after 3 touches, well, it was not even accurate. 3 touches to play horizontally. Because forget about the fact that we played vertical. Yesterday, we didn't see any verticality. What about the players? I told you about Rabiot, that was out of condition. Vlahovic, nervous. And it's a pity. He was playing in a relaxed way all month of January. He goes at the first big, huge test in a stadium that is taboo for him before the game. And now, even more after the game, he was nervous since the beginning of the game. And he lost a bit that concentration, a mental energy that should have allowed him to control that ball much better on a beautiful pass of Weston McKennie. Is it unforgivable? No, because you have to forgive at a certain moment, but it's difficult. You can't. Being Dusan Vlahovic, being in a mental energy that was only positive, you can't miss that control. Cambiaso McKennie worked so well for so long. Yesterday, Inzaghi, he understood it. And he blocked totally Cambiaso. Like he blocked Yildiz. First there, that duel, Pavard-Yildiz, Pavard won it. But even when we put him on the other side of the field, it was difficult. Yildiz that was trying to come back, asking for the ball. We were not able to serve him. We were not able to assist him. We played way too low. So it is the fantastic way of Inter blocking our players, but also the non-playing higher asked by Allegri to be too cautious. Yesterday we didn't see a shiny Yildiz. The Yildiz that needs to improve, that will take a lesson, that will try to do better next time. Who am I saving of yesterday? Szczesny, luckily he was there. Bremer, fantastic. And probably even McKennie. Even if the plan Cambiaso McKennie didn't really work, yesterday was one of the players that really tried a few times in counter-attack. Çalhanoğlu, fantastic performance of Çalhanoğlu. Defensively, offensively, he was everywhere. Maybe man of the match, Çalhanoğlu. The difference yesterday with Locatelli was big. A Locatelli that was able to give defensive support, but only defensive support. And you know it, huh? How many times did I praise the defensive support of Locatelli? But I always told you, I love when Locatelli is giving defensive support, but I need that extra thing. Otherwise, it's a good performance, but not a wow performance. You need to do double face when you are the regista of Juve. Yesterday, we didn't see a Locatelli that was building. We saw a Locatelli that was slower, that was in the game with the midfield, McKennie, Locatelli, and Rabiot, that was not able to be better than the one of Inter. The other duel that comes in mind is Acerbi-Vlahovic. Acerbi that totally blocked Vlahovic. Yesterday, I tell you, Inzaghi, that is not a coach that I particularly like. We saw the big progression of Simone Inzaghi. Extreme, big, huge progression from his time at Lazio to his time at Inter to his time at Inter themselves in the few years that he was there. Yesterday he was strong. Yesterday he understood perfectly how to play against Juve and he did really well. Now, the nice thing is that we saw a few minutes of Alcaraz. I don't want to speak too much about Alcaraz. Of course, he played 1 minute plus 5, so 6 in total. But I saw a guy that has will, a guy that has that grinta that we are asking, a guy that could potentially give a help to a Juventus that need dynamism, that need rhythm, that needs energy. So I'm not saying here that he's a phenomenal, not enough time to judge him, but I'm happy to see a new face in the midfield. We really needed a new face, and he could be, that unconscious surprise, that surprise, that joker, that jolly, that could do the difference there in the midfield for some parts of the game. Now, I finish with one thing, the belief for the remaining part of the season. I told you we don't have to give up for all the reasons that I mentioned, but speaking about scudetto, can we win it? I want to tell you, yes, we can win it. We can still win the scudetto, but only if it is Inter that will lose it. That's where we are today. Yes, we can win it because you never give up. Until the mathematic is telling you it's over, you don't give up. There is always that hope. Small hope. But the thing that we know today is, yes, we can win it only if Inter will lose it. Let me know, it was a slow video. I didn't put with a lot of energy because today we don't have to put a lot of energy. Let me know what you think about it in the comment section. Thank you, grazie. And more than ever, forza Juve.